Good day, dear readers, viewers, watchers, and listeners. I pray all is well out there. We are going to continue and resume play in the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity. Let us continue. Let us resume play. Still at the start of this new chapter about St. John the Baptist, the man of the desert. Let us begin. Next midday, everybody went to the synagogue and registered the birth of the son of Zachariah. A priest named Von asked Zachariah, "Zachariah, what will be the name of your son?" Zachariah took a plate and wrote in big letters, "John." Straight after, the whole temple shouted, "John, John, John." Jubal was so amazed that he nearly fainted again. "Elizabeth, look, God has forgiven your husband." Zachariah was crying of joy and shouted, "My dear friends, from now on, all of me and all of my life I will dedicate to God. I will be dedicated only to God." Zachariah hugged Elizabeth. "My dear wife, take our son and let's go to live this life for the sake of God and all that is sacred." By the decision of the Synedrion, Zachariah moved from Hebron to Bethany. He preached to his temple comers the faith in God's truth. Nazareth. The whole of Palestine was excited about the news of God's son's birth. Everybody hoped life would change and longed for a miracle. Bethabara. John was a full 5 months old. "Zachariah, have you heard? Mary gave birth to God's son." "Yes, Elizabeth, I heard, and I am happy for her. We gave birth to God's forerunner. May our children give their lives to glory and to glorify the Overmind in heaven." "Zachariah, this is how it will be. So far, let's not think about it." "I don't think, but I constantly hear and believe it, though I don't want this to happen." "My dear husband, let us memorize one thing. Everything is in the power of God. We are only his assistants." "May I come in?" "Oh, Jubal, you found us." "Zachariah, I am your angel. God save us if angels in heaven are like you." "I see you are not happy to see me." "No, Jubal, I'm happy you remembered to visit us." "You know, Zachariah, I want to move to Bethabara. It's so boring to stay in Hebron. I get used to you. You see, Zechariah, the wise men were not mistaken, and you didn't want to believe. In Nazareth, the Son of God was born. The prophecy of Isaiah is turning into reality in front of our eyes. What do you think God is? Jubal, I think he is kind. He forgave me. What he is in reality, we will only see when he, Jesus, grows up. God bless us to see that day. Jubal, have you come here only to see me? No, not only you. I told you, I want to purchase a house and relocate here. I want to find a house. A woman entered the house. Peace be to you, good people. Peace be with you too. Tell me, who is Zechariah here? This is me. Help me, please. How can I help you? I lost my son. Tell me if he is alive. How would I know? How do I know? Suddenly, Zechariah heard. Tell her he is alive and will come back to her in 2 days. Zechariah hugged the woman. Do not worry. He is alive and he will be back home soon. Thank you, Zechariah. Jubal was astonished. Zechariah, what if he is dead? No, Jubal. God tells me that he is alive. You've become a weirdo. I tend to respect you as a prophet. Neighbor, don't be silly. I am an ordinary man, just like you. No, Zechariah, I am an ordinary man, and you are gifted from God. Stay, just like that. I hope your son will inherit all the best of you. Well, Jubal, let's hope so. Time passed. John turned 7. On his birthday, Elizabeth got sick. Zechariah, I feel very soon God will call me up. Elizabeth, it's too early. We have to raise the son, the only. After that, we will leave for God. Zechariah, I would really like that, but we belong to God, and I know for sure he is calling me. You will have to raise John alone. Elizabeth, calm down. Zechariah, I have only a few days, and I want you to stay next to me all the time. He went out of the house and cried out, God, please don't take my last hope. Give us mercy. No, Zechariah, you have to part with Elizabeth, but not for long. I will just alleviate her plight. Lord, it'll be so hard for me to raise John. Zechariah, very soon you'll come to my place too. What about John? He is so small. Don't worry about him. The desert will be his home. I mean, the desert in the hearts of people. Lord, I don't understand you. Zechariah, I want to reborn faith among people as the wind which brings freshness to a desert. Your son will be the pioneer in this desert of cold hearts. So Zechariah is in the basement for many years, and your son is the first one to walk this path. He prepares this path to my son. You know, he is already born. Lord, how do they know each other? Zechariah, not at first, but they will. Well, I'll be ready to accept the destiny you created for me. Zechariah, it is in the future. So far, raise John and keep in mind that Elizabeth is almost with me. Put up and don't judge me. I am always fair. Of course, Lord, I'll put up as you are, Lord, and your will is my everything. Lord, tell me, will John have a difficult path? Yes, very difficult, as he is my firstborn. Now go to Elizabeth and try to comfort her. Assure her everything is going to be fine. I ask you again, don't judge my truth. It is the essence of life, not for one human, but for everybody, including those who are not even yet born. John will dedicate his life to all of them. Elizabeth, I've just talked to God. He calmed me and inspired my soul with hope. John, come to me. Zachariah hugged and kissed John. God's child, rejoice to life for the sake of all what is God's and divine. Father, what are you talking about? I don't understand you. John, you'll understand later as you were chosen by God. Father, why does Mom feel so bad? Son, don't worry. She will be much better soon. John, come to me. Mom, I'm listening to you. You have a brother. His name is Jesus. Please stay in touch with him. He is your closest one. Mom, how do I know him? I have never seen him before. Son, you will get to know him. He is an extraordinary child. Everyone will be talking about him, as will you. Mom, why are people going to talk about us? John, well, God wants this. Who is God? Yes, John, you will see him in the face of Jesus. Will it happen soon? I can't say exactly when it will happen, but you have one path. This path will be to illuminate the whole of humankind. John, please be deserving to God's path and never let him down. Rejoice to him, and you will find your eternal well-being in him. Mom, I don't understand the whole idea, but I will try to do my best. Zachariah, why are you silent? Elizabeth, I was attentively listening to you, and I have nothing else to add. You are amazing. I'm sorry just for one thing. Zachariah, don't. You know it is impossible to change. You are right. Zachariah, please tell Mary that I have gone to the kingdom of heaven and that she shouldn't be sad. I'll be in a better place. Forgive me if something was wrong. I don't feel sorry for anything, and I know our life matters a lot. The time will come and people will remember us and turn to us. Elizabeth, I didn't know you would leave me so soon. Jerusalem. Authorities got interested in chariot of fire, so often appearing in the heaven of Jerusalem. The centurion tried to conceal the unexplainable phenomenon. Members of the assembly were furious. They were also scared. They were scared of not the chariot of fires, but civil unrest. Such events would, well, people would consider as of God's origin. Their mindset was changing. All their attention was addressed to heaven. Everybody was waiting for a better life from divine miracles. They expected and hoped. Very few of them knew that gracious heaven sent its messengers to earth. Heavenly children were talked about everywhere. They were discussed with a different attitude as no one knew about them. Meanwhile, children were getting older and more mature. In Nazareth, there was an unusual boy. His name was Jesus Christ. And Bethabara was John, the forerunner, from the clan of the Aarons. God's firstborn children were different at first sight, though their souls were on God's fire. The ever-burning fire was slowly but steadily spreading around the planet. That was the beginning of the new age, the age of new faith, Christian faith. So young earthly creatures would have to change the turn of events on earth. Though their own suffering and pain, they would convey all the sacraments of God to people and would need to implement them to life. Though at the moment, children were growing and developing to the glory of the humankind. God and only He was helping them in everything. He was their parent. Beyond any reasonable doubt, the whole earth longed for salvation for their sins. People lived on their own and didn't know what they were actually doing. Thus, two of God's sparkles were sent by heaven to convince the unacceptable. It is hard to get out and find yourself when you are lost and, moreover, deluded. Humankind was losing its appearance along with its spirituality and another side of it. The overmind knew and wanted to ease humans' burdens. The invisible but real world focused all its attention on humans, which this world created itself. He wished only that God's bliss and well-being to his creation. God decided to check all of the inhabitants of the earth. How will they treat his children and thus himself? He anticipated. This anticipation was the essence of his sacrifice. Zachariah, Elizabeth, I'm here. My time has come. In the evening, God will meet my soul. Elizabeth, no, Zachariah, this is how it should be. Let John come to me. Mom, I'm here. Son, John looked at his mother. Mom, I saw a dream about the heavenly kingdom. An angel told me that you are... John began to cry. Mom, I don't want to talk about it, but you have to leave to the great space. Son, let me kiss you. Mom, how will I live without you? John, you will live. You will live with God. He will always help you. I wish I spent more time with you. In the heavenly kingdom, we will have much time. We will have an eternity together. But Mom, I don't want to part with you. John, we do not part. We will soon meet. Honey, what do you mean? John, you will get it. Whatever you hear and see with your inner sight, please assign to God, because you are His child. You are my parents. John, we are your earthly parents, and He is your heavenly Father. John, remember me. I'll see you always. Now, go for a walk and let your father stay with me. Zachariah, I don't want our son to witness my transformation. Let him be outside. My time has come. Sit next to me. Please, don't cry for me. This moment is about to come, and Elizabeth, my dear only wife, look at me. Her spirit left Elizabeth's body. There was a moment when Zachariah saw how something pulled away from his wife's body. Inside of himself, he heard, "Hold on, Zachariah. Your wife is already in the place where everyone is destined to be." In his thoughts, all of his life, such a long life, rushed just in several moments. He closed Elizabeth's eyes and went out of the house. Father, John, I'm sorry. Your mom is already in heaven. Father, but her body is still in the house. John, it's only a body. What belongs to God has gone to where it belongs. John hugged his father and cried. Zachary, peace be with you. Jabal, I'm glad you came. Are you kidding? No, not at all. Elizabeth has died, and I need someone nearby. Zachariah, I see. I'll call for the mourners. No, Jabal, don't. I'll bury her by the traditions of Nazareth. Well, as you wish. I can't contradict you. Just don't boot me out. You need me in these hard times. Jabal, you are my friend. We have been friends for so long. How can I boot you out? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. John, look at your mom. Don't be afraid. Come closer. Father, she is so silent. John, this is the sense. She used to be silent. She was always waiting for something every day. When you appeared, she calmed down and started talking. From now on, she will be talking to you inside of your soul. You should listen to her. Father, look, tears in her eyes. John, it is her last earthly breath. Jabal, please gather people. Before the end of the day, we will give her body to the ground. Zachariah, I repeat to you again, I am glad that God brought me to you. Thank you, Jabal, for everything. You are a real human, and it seems to me, no, I see that the destiny of our son very much depends on you. Zachariah, what do you mean? I'm just saying what I can. I'm not allowed to say more. Jabal, I'm not allowed by the Almighty. If God tells you that, just do everything as He is saying. Jabal, it will be so. I believe Him more than ever. After Elizabeth's body was buried, all people who came to farewell ceremony gathered in Zachariah's house. My dear friends and neighbors, I thank you for everything. My wife is already in heaven, and I'm sure she hears and sees us. She thanks you for your gratitude to her. As you know, the soul of Elizabeth was very kind. I feel sorry that Elizabeth's relative, Mary, is not here with us at the moment, though I will inform her in near time. Zachariah, don't worry about it. I soon will go to Capernaum, and I will try to visit Mary in Nazareth. I want to meet her son. Thank you, Jubal. Now, my dear, I want to tell you goodbye, and I want to stay alone. Jubal, when you decide to go to Capernaum, come to see me. Sure, Zachariah. The first night without Elizabeth was painful for Zachariah. He couldn't fall asleep. Right after midnight, he heard that somebody is in the room. Is it? No way. Elizabeth, is that you? Yes, Zachariah, it is me. How is it possible? Zachariah, don't be afraid. I have come to look at John. Elizabeth, can you stay? She smiled. Zachariah, I'm not allowed. God allowed me to look at our son. You are so transparent. Why? Zachariah, this is just an image. It is my soul. Elizabeth, what is God like? My dear husband, I can't explain. It is, you asked me, what is God like? Because I'm no longer here. What is God like? My dear husband, I can't explain. It is unfathomable. Though His light and His power is bliss, where everyone is living after the passage. Do not hurry. Your time will come. Dear readers, we will pause and we will stop there. We will resume play yet another day, another time, in the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity. Until next time, dear readers, be well. Please take care of yourselves and one another. Thank you, and God bless.